Get Arathi Ma's new book, The Value of Truth, at arathima.com.
So before I start with today's subject, I'd just like to remind you that if you click on the subscribe button down below this video, and then you click on the gear icon right beside it and say receive notifications, just make sure you check that box. That way you'll get my videos immediately as they come up. Because sometimes if I upload more than one video in a week, you'll really only get one update from YouTube a week or so late, or a week and a half later, but you won't get notifications with all the different updates because YouTube has its own schedule and stuff. So if you want to receive all the notifications right away, as soon as I upload, then just make sure you click that receive notifications icon there. So today I'd like to talk to you about one of the questions I received from one of my subscribers. And she said, Jason, what type of symptoms will I experience when I'm chanting mantra or meditating? Okay. And any type of spiritual practice can bring up symptoms. So I'm not saying just mantra will do this, okay? But she said that she's experiencing sweaty palms when she chants, and she's experiencing this night sweats, and she's having trouble sleeping, you know, that sort of thing. So, you know, she's asking, is this normal? Is this a normal thing from spiritual practice? So first of all, no matter what happens, whatever I'm saying today does not exclude the advice from your doctor or any of that kind of thing. So if you suspect that there might be something wrong with you, it's okay to go see the doctor and to get checked out to make sure everything's normal, okay? Noting that, I will continue further into this video, okay? First of all, mantra practice or any type of spiritual practice will bring up mental cleanses. Sometimes thoughts that have been happening for a long time, or anxieties and worries, you know, all this kind of stuff that goes on in the mind will come up stronger than ever before, and then it will be released as you see it from a different perspective. Okay? Emotions, this will also happen. The feelings and things that have been dominating you your whole life, the types of suffering that you've been feeling so bad, and sometimes they're almost subtle, they're almost like under the radar, where you weren't really aware of this dominating energy that you called personality. Sometimes you call it, that's just who I am, that's why I do what I do. Sometimes those energies will become really apparent to you, and at first they will be perceived as suffering. You will feel them as pain, and then as you be with them and accept them, which is what I talk about all the time in this channel, they will flow through as well and recycle. Now the third paradigm, which is the denser version of these two, is the physical cleanse, okay? So say you've had thoughts that were worry and stressful and always bringing up your adrenals and your fears, and then you're feeling fear here, you know, your fears, you know, the thoughts were creating the fear here, you had the thought, I'm worried about this, then you're feeling the worry, okay? Well, your body is also victimized by this energy, okay? So the body will start to carry this resonance. So as you start to chant mantra, you're trying to reverse engineer this entire thing. So at first, what you will do in many cases, the energies that have been deposited in the body, maybe by you, perhaps by your parents because they made your physical body or your ancestral lineage, okay? These sensations will come up and cleanse through. And that can happen in the form of rashes, it can happen in the form of flus, it can happen in the form of disease-like symptoms, it can happen through adrenal response. So my answer to this lady is, if you're getting the sweats and night sweats and things, you're probably having something to do with hormonal stuff cleansing out. Something's affected your hormones, you're probably cleansing that out, as well as, or adrenal type stuff. So say if you've been spending a lot of time worrying or in stress, now you're cleansing out the response of that stress in the body. So you're reversing it. Now you're saying, okay, let's let go of the symptom, let's let go of it, let go of it, let go of it, and then at some point the body will be free of that stress. So this is how mantra or spiritual practice can really help your healing, okay? Now it's important to note that if you spiritually cleanse too hard, too fast, it's really important to also receive support, because what you do on the outside in your life is also part of the spiritual cleanse, such as maybe receiving help from a doctor, maybe receiving help with your nutrition, maybe receiving help through exercise and through learning how to take care of your body in another way, okay? So you can build the sandwich, as Arathi Ma would say, you can build the sandwich from the top down or the bottom up, okay? So you do both. So you support the spiritual cleansing process as well as continue the process. Now, if it gets too aggressive for you, it's okay to back off on your spiritual discipline for a few days. You know, if you're worried, if there's something really extreme going on, then it's okay to back off and just take a break for a few days and then get back to it later, right? I know that the work ethic in most of us won't allow that in some cases, but ultimately, if the symptoms get too bad, we don't want anybody to, we don't want any serious harm to come up, okay? Because sometimes your body just can only cleanse so much at one point, okay? So it's good to work with the body. So if it starts to cleanse too hard, then just take a break, okay? So the symptoms that can come up are very many. I mean, anything to do with gum swelling to, I had, you know, actually, I'll share something with you. Just a lot of you don't have the benefit that I have to see exactly how fast this happens. Okay, when you're on this path for a long time and you are at a certain level of realization, you will actually experience and watch these symptoms move through you at a faster rate. So it makes it obvious that a cleanse is actually happening. Okay, but at first when stuff is happening at such a slow rate, you're like, well, maybe this is happening, or maybe this is just life because I was messed up before I started this mantra stuff. So maybe this is just the same old thing, right? The fact is, when this cycle speeds up, it'll become very obvious what's happening. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I'm very choosy with who I give initiations to, and this is why initiations are pricey. Okay, it's not because I do this a lot. I don't actually give initiations that often. I only give initiations to serious students and people that are willing to do their own work. I am not going to give an initiation to a person that is heavily into drug addiction and heavily into this and heavily into that, and then say, okay, I'm going to take on this karma from you and move it through my body, because when I give an initiation, there is a massive amount of this cleansing that happens through me now on behalf of the student. That's what an initiation is, okay? It's saying, okay, you can't do this chunk yourself as fast. I could do it at a much faster rate, but I will also have to experience this suffering as it moves through me, okay? So sometimes this can happen through physical problems. I mean, I've cleansed accidents out where I almost cut my finger off with a knife, where I fell down the stairs and stuff just immediately after initiation, okay? I've had my shoulder swell up like a watermelon, even though I didn't even work out or nothing even happened. It was just the initiation, and bang, my shoulder swelled up for 3 days, okay? So just on that note, because I've been able to observe that on such a small little ecosystem point of view, it has made it very obvious to me about what is really happening as you do spiritual work, as you perform your spiritual disciplines, okay? So don't get too scared of the symptoms. Take care of yourself, check them out, but know that a lot of times you're cleansing out that very disease that you might have attracted. Okay, so say you're supposed to get a rash and then or a psoriasis, and it's supposed to be with you for the rest of your life, and all of a sudden you clear it out. During a heavy Saturn discipline, and Saturn really addresses the skin, I dealt with psoriasis or a rash that just appeared on my finger, okay? But over a period of 2 months, it just came and just left on its own. There was no dietary changes, nothing I changed with my lifestyle or anything like that. It's just that it had to move through. It's like you're cleansing out those symptoms, okay? So you're becoming more immortal, more disease-free. You know, also at certain mantra city levels, I got the flu, and it was exactly at 125,000 and exactly at 500,000, then bang, bad case of the flu. Since then, I've never gotten a cold or the flu. It's like I cleansed out all of that stuff, and then I don't get it anymore. Now it's like I can just feel if my immune system's a little bit off, take a nap, and then it's gone, right? Knock on wood. So, but the fact is, this is it. It's you become more invulnerable. Okay, you become more indestructible in a lot of ways. Like you don't carry all this trauma in the body, so that when the environment gives you a trauma, you're not having two traumas to experience. You're just experiencing the trauma of the environment, you see? So I hope this helps, and feel free to leave a comment or question down below, and maybe I can answer in another video if you have any questions. But good luck in your spiritual practice, and take care for now. Yeah, so thanks for supporting my work, and I also want to let you know I also have another YouTube channel called Jason Gallant Music, and there I will be uploading meditation and music tracks, and feel free to listen in, and you can also access those tracks on my website at JasonGallant.ca in case you want to download them for your iPhone or iPod or something like that. Okay? So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.